Live now. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr Gangalaxmi Patnaik from Bangalore, excited to share with you my insights regarding poetry. I love poetry. Poetry allows me to express my emotions and allow me to connect to those emotions. Good poetry has its origin in emotions recollected in tranquility. Different people write down poems for different reasons. Then a question arises in my mind: what is the central idea of a poem? What is the central idea of a poem? The answer I am giving myself: the central idea is the main concept or message that the poet is exploring or expressing. It is the underlying meaning or the big idea that ties the poem together. To find the central idea, consider what is primarily about, what emotions or thoughts it evokes, and what the poet wants to communicate. You can better understand from my poems the idea of the poet. It is an important idea prevalent throughout the poems. If a poem is read out aloud, the person hearing the poem will get an inkling of the poem's theme from the feeling that it evokes. Words are carefully selected by the poet to convey specific meanings and create certain sounds, often utilizes figurative languages such as metaphors and similes to add depth and layers of meaning to the words used. It is very much important as it helps to appreciate and understand the world around us. Poetry teaches us how to live good, comfortably during periods of stress, trauma, and grief. It encourages to put words to feelings that we cannot otherwise describe. So when one reads a poem, he likes and feels the ideas. Some poems stay in our heart. We admire those poets. You see, poems in English language written by poets like John Keats, Shelley, Lord Byron, William Wordsworth, etc. They added magic qualities in the themes. They have written poems on social issues, oppression, tyranny, and emotion. These poems have the power to touch our hearts. This is called motivational poem, which explores themes of resilience and hope, encouraging readers to persevere through difficult times and to never give up. It reminds challenges are natural part of life and that we must have strength and determination to overcome them. Now, presenting my motivational poem on human rights, which is very much necessary for men and women. Without human rights, there can be no peace, no stability, no protection from harm. Rights are important as they assure security, dignity, and fair play. The title of this poem is Stand Up for Human Rights. Stand Up for Human Rights. The poem runs like this. Almost everywhere, from school to widening gap of cremation ground, no rights of human beings felt, found only restlessness. What pleasure lies? Listening trumpets, blast for equality, peace, justice, freedom, fenced by unspeakable silence, where pain only survives. How can you know wound so deep, spiritless, colorless? On the altar of stabbing helplessness, gather prowess, protect, preserve humanity, dignity, bring an end to disrespect and discrimination. Throw down misogynism, homophobia, safeguard women, children, sit down, dream of rose gardens, butterflies certainly will get in. This is the end of my first motivational poem. For your information, I like to believe that poetry should be simple, natural, give pleasure to the readers, even when subject matter is painful. Its lyric poetry expresses speaker's emotions and feelings and is often presented in the first person. In the first person, winter is on my head, but eternal spring is in my heart. So I imagine to be a migratory bird. The title of the poem, the lyric poem is Wanderlust. Wanderlust. This poem runs like this. When earth throbbed sculpting sighs of unplumbed affliction ooze, I migrated with power of eagle to shore lonely heights. I flew above the clouds, encircled with pollens of love. Like stranger in city, I weaved a desire to migrate. I would chip sweet words, fly high in the sky, say the world below to all humans bye-bye. My strangeness deepens until I transform mind into honey-suckling birds. My amazing beak goes deep into womb of birds, flowers. I can litter my thirsty tongue with pollens of sweetness, so that sky of my love for life breathes, whispers. Migration creates scenarios in mind. How wonderful to travel to place where I can sleep under stars or stare beauty of snow-clad mountains. I sat silently environment-friendly beach, watched how sun sets. I would jump to sea and catch fish from waters. I have friends who cannot understand my thirst of worth visiting, but I would feel united with everyone and everything. Never exploring far-flung places. That's all right. Different strokes for different folks. They have no mindset for new horizons and unforgettable experiences. My life has been a migration without reason, destination. I migrate for just to be moving 1,000 times, a million. This is my second poem, comes to an end. This lyric poem. Now I like to focus on eco poetry, known as nature poetry or green poetry. The first is motivational poem, the second is lyric poem, and this one is third one, eco poem, known as nature poem, green poem. Eco poetry explores the meaning of eco poetry. Eco poetry explores how humans are part of the natural world and how our actions impact environment. The title of the eco poem is Winter Blossoms. Winter Blossoms. Since it is a winter season, I highlight on winter blossoms in my eco poetry. The poem is like this. December month brings showers, red flowers, in cool breeze, fluttering, connected with heart, center of love, passion. I stick with red flowers for a romantic bouquet that expresses more than 1,000 words of infatuation. December throws red flowers everywhere. Their fragrance, ooze, winter breeze, carry sweet scent. Aroma is fresh, slightly spicy. Smells link us to past memories that I love. Inhaling scents reduce stress, creates sensation that makes me happy. Flowers are like friends, bring color to our world, spoken more than we can tell in written words. Earth loves with flowers, dances like thunder, sings like rain. Happiness is to hold flowers in both hands. Now, my rendition of third eco poem is over, and I want to present fourth eco poem known as Sunset, Winter Sunset. I am afraid of sunset, still voice of night. Its rays stretching out like last embrace before retreats its slumbering place. Sunset speaks louder than words, mesmerizing me, vibrant sunset hues. I know neither mornings nor evenings, in love with only sunset darkness. Knows only touching, kissing, books in darkness, an unknowable bliss of silences that liberates wings of words and poems. This is the end of my fourth poem, that is the eco poem. My next expedition is for romantic love poetry. Romantic love poetry that expresses deep feelings of love, passion, affection between two people, focusing on romantic relationship. It prioritizes expression of strong emotions like desire, adoration, tenderness towards a loved one. Basing on this, my fifth number love poem runs like this. The title of this love poem is December Sunday Yarning. December Sunday Yarning. The poem is, now I am going to recite. Beyond flowing river, I waited. In heart, eyes tired, heavy, but long for you at dawn. Waited for you in heart, When twinkling stars disappeared from sky, heart flies to you. Never did I see, nor do see your face, brown or fog white. Yet listen, your hymns of love, and listening the echo of your loud love voice, I bow down with an unknowable joy. Like summer river, craves for rain to fall. I yearn to hold you very close, grow rich with voices, birds of bliss flying around me makes eyes tired, heavy, but I am very happy. This is my poem, fifth poem. Next is also a romantic love poem with reference to winter season because winter impacts our psychology. There are darker days, colder nights, holiday season, cocktail party. These make people together and yearn for warmth, love, and connection. So, the title of this poem is Thinking of You. Thinking of You, the poem is thinking of you always makes my day. Just wanted to send happy thoughts your way. Thinking of you create your presence out of nowhere to feel you available everywhere. Although we live miles apart, thinking of you within my heart. Always feel near you though we are thousands of miles apart. Thinking of you is a daily routine in my life. I find myself thinking of you every day in my life. Thinking of you is easy. I do it every day. Missing you is the heartache that never goes away. This is a hug from me to you to let you know I am thinking of you. Although I have nothing to say, you know I am thinking of you. This is the end of my sixth poem. Next, I like to present a bio poem. A bio poem. Generally, bio poem we are writing to give respect to our teachers, mentors, our parents, very near and dear ones soon after their death. And this is called biopoem. And this biopoem is very much used in the school level because that will increase the children's attention, attachment towards the respected ones. So this is the biopoem I have written for my research supervisor because I did my PhD in Santiniketan. There, professor head of the department, Dr. Niranjan Mohanty was there. Under him, I did my PhD. After finishing my PhD, I got the degree. But after 2 to 3 years, he got cardiac arrest and died then and there. I respected him and loved him so much that even in his last days, I did not find him. Even it was not possible on my part to go there to Santiniketan to attend his last rites. Anyhow, now that means still today, whenever any hurdles comes, any problem challenge comes regarding my studies or anything, the memory of Professor Dr. Niranjan Mohanty comes to my mind. and I feel I cannot forgive him. Even till my death, he has occupied a place in my heart, for whom I am now standing here today. And in my co-poem, I am paying tribute to Professor Dr. Niranjan Mohanty. The title of the poem is Floral Tribute to Professor Dr. Niranjan Mohanty. Tribute to my mentor to give flavor of his personality within inverted comma. The poem runs like this. All around it's dark, for my mentor, teacher became lifeless. From bones to the harvest of silence, giving heavy loss. All around it's dark, for my mentor, teacher became lifeless. From bones to the harvest of silence, giving heavy loss. I felt someone follows. Something flows into heart's chamber, who has played key role in my life and career. I felt someone follows. Something flows into heart's chamber, who has played key role in my life and career. I thank sir. I could not have done research without your support. You are a coach, guide, teacher, counselor, accompanies me on quest. I thank sir. I could not have done research without support. Your coach, guide, teacher, counselor accompanies me on quest. When suddenly light gone out, I crawled in dark, giggling to whose inspiring and warm roots shall I clutch and cling? Question mark. When suddenly light gone out, I crawled in dark, giggling to whose inspiring and warm roots shall I clutch and cling? On whose garden I implant the saplings of my grief? Who will give solace? Where can I seek the relief? Question mark. On whose garden I implant the saplings of my grief? Who will give solace? Where I can seek the relief? You are now turned into flowers, sir, whose fragrance would enliven me, enkindle, ennoble me, endearing to your ideas and option. You are now turned into flowers, sir, whose fragrance would enliven me, enkindle, ennoble me, endearing to your ideas and option. On the death of Professor Dr. Niranjan Mohanty, Vishwabharati Santiniketan, West Bengal. Now, my rendition is over. Lastly, I am reciting a Thanksgiving poem to fertile brains, and especially this is for the admin come founder come admin, Kumar Prasanna. Thanksgiving. The title of the poem is Thanksgiving. Is there really anything miraculous in act of thanksgiving? A big question mark. Is there really anything miraculous in act of thanksgiving? Thanksgiving an emotion, unknowable contention within bounds. Its uproar is heard like thunder in cloudless lids, initiates dialogues between himself and what he feels around. Words in thanksgiving are linked to principles of creativity, ingenuity. Its composition, words have therapeutic effects on quiddity. Thanksgiving triggers brain tied to reward memory, emotion, and strengthens, heightens cognitivity, health, encourages self-reflection, introspection. It renews giver's personality, makes him gentle person. The highest virtue touches the heart of receiver, forms satisfaction. This is the poem Thanksgiving to Fertile Brains. Now almost my rendition is over, and again I give up the sum. I sum up the entire my rendition. First is motivational poem, gives always message to the readers. Second is lyric poetry, always gives pleasure. Though the theme is painful, but there is all pleasure. The language is very simple, very natural. That is the lyric poetry. Number three is eco poetry, that is also called environment poetry and also nature poetry. And that is always appreciating to nature, what nature has given us and how nature has changed our mood when we are in grief, trauma, or any pain. That is eco poetry. Now the critics have changed the nature poetry to eco poetry. Eco These are the four categories of poetry. I also want to speak more because there is the lack of time. Now my time is about to finish. Just 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, but 3 minutes in my hand. So I'm giving my last vote of thanks. Finally, I would like to thank each and every one of you, my poet friends, for your support and participation in making this event a grand success. My special thanks to founder, admin, coordinator Prasannaji, who spared time from his busy schedule to conduct the occasion. Thanking you all, to the members of all the members of Fertile Brains, my appreciation, admiration, and also thanks.